For years and years now, the TaylorMade P790 has been the go-to hollow-bodied iron for golfers ranging from mid to high to even low handicaps. Callaway have tried, Mizuno have tried, Cobra have tried, even PXG have tried, but nobody has managed to make a better product than the P790. Enter the guys at Titleist. Introducing the brand new Titleist T350 and T250 iron. I think it's fair to say these both look absolutely gorgeous, and today we're going to compare them and see just which one you should potentially be putting in your golf bag for this 2025 season. So when it boils down to it, these are two stunning looking irons from Titleist, and I feel like they really have learnt from the guys at TaylorMade and from the mistakes of the guys at Callaway, the guys at PXG, the guys at Mizuno, and just made something that looks impressively sleek whilst fantastically performing. So we're going to go T250 first here and just take a couple of shots into this lovely par 3. We've got 170 yards. What kind of shots can we get with this 7 iron? So the 7 iron here is 30.5 degrees in loft, so that's actually the same, funnily enough, as a standard P790 would be. And that's a really nice opener towards that flag. Lovely turf interaction, big divot, and that's pitched the perfect distance and is around kind of 15 feet from that flag. So straight away, a really nice struck shot there and a really nice feeling iron in this Titleist T250. Now the thing with the T250 is it is the sleeker one of the two. So the T350 is of course that slightly bigger blade length, that slightly thicker top line, that slightly more offsetted club, whereas this one I imagine Titleist will have that same issue that TaylorMade had with the P790, where it's targeted towards a kind of mid-handicap golfer, but you'll have loads of low-handicap Titleist fans going, you know what, give me a bit of that T250 because it's everything that I want and more out of an iron. Can we knock it closer than that first shot? I've just left that face a little bit open. That's leaking to the right just a touch. But I think it is, I think that is the right distance. I think front to back dispersion there is pretty good. Now, let's go T350 and let's just see if this is a bit more forgiving. If we were to leave that face open on this, what the difference would be. We are going to test these for numbers as well and see just what the big differences we are seeing. Could this go too far? Slightly stronger. That's really nice. Very similar to the first shot we hit with the 250. And that's pitched more towards the back edge of the green. So as anticipated, probably are going to see a touch more distance here with the T350, a touch more forgiveness, a touch more oomph behind it, it's fair to say. So this doesn't look quite as sleek as the T250, but I think for the everyday golfer, it looks sleek enough to be a really nice, good looking, good performing iron. Can we hit the green again here? Because if we hit the green more times with this than the T250, surely it's a better option for us, you would think. Right, come on, same swing, up there. And that's a funny one because I felt like I left the face open very similar to the 250 there, and that's pitch front edge of the green on a pretty average strike. And it may well be closer than the initial shot we hit with the T250. This could get very interesting very quickly. So as you can see, we've got two balls in there, one at about 15 feet, which is the T350, and one at about 10 feet, which is the T250. The first T350 is just back left of the green there, and the final 250 did go to the right and cannoned off the apron there. So what I'm really pleased with there is that front to back dispersion. They're all around about that right distance for this hole, even with a couple of, fair to say, varied strikes with these pretty gorgeous looking irons. So one of the easiest ways to decipher which club is which is to look down at the blade length and the top line of these two irons. So we have the T250 on the left and the T350 on the right. You can see a little bit more of a kind of clumbersome shape on the T350. I say clumbersome in the nicest of possible terms because it still looks absolutely spectacular. We can see a much thicker top line and a bit more offset on that 7 iron together with what looks like a slightly longer blade length in this club. Okay, so it's time to talk numbers for these brand new Titleist T250 and T350 irons. The irons I think could pretty much knocked TaylorMade off their pedestal of having the best hollow-bodied irons pretty much ever released. And we'll kick things off with the T250 iron, because the T250 iron is a slightly smaller, sleeker head, and I think it looks absolutely fantastic. Guys, if you want to see full reviews of both these irons, make sure you do hit that subscribe button below. Now, we have a flag out there at 167 yards, slightly uphill, so these power irons should potentially be able to just about get there, but I'm interested in seeing just what kind of spin rate I can generate, and of course ball speeds with these irons. So straight away that's carried at 155 up to 160 total. It's a really nice spin rate of just shy of 5,000. Let's go again. Really, really nice thin top line on these clubs. And a really nice high launching ball flight at that time with this 7 iron. What's that one pitching? Again, it's up at that 160 number, and again, that's spinning at 5,700, so plenty of control on that club to get front edge of this green. Now, this is playing uphill, so I imagine it's playing more like a 175 shot, but I do think with the right swing, we can get there up to the distance with this club. I think the T350 with that slightly stronger loft will, of course, look at that, 164 carry, 173 total, but the T350 is, of course, more the kind of power shot, power club. Titleist has done a really good job of making these feel how they feel, and of course look as good as they look as well. That's a 169 carry, so we're really starting to get into the rhythm here. 5,000 spins, so not too bad, it's manageable. Tiny bit low, you'd prefer it up near 6,000. That's what TaylorMade have done really, really well, to be honest, with their clubs, the new 790s. That's a bottomy one. What do we get out of a real bottomy one? You still get a 155 carry, you still get 167 total. The spin rate obviously dropping quite a lot. Let's go one more. Let's move up to T350 to this flag. Now that felt like I kind of opened the face up a little bit, but it's gone the distance and it's still up there and performing at 5,500 spin, which I'm going to give it to it, is a fantastic set of numbers, I think, for this T250. Okay, into the numbers for the T350 now. A slightly bigger head design here, thicker top line, a bit more offset, and potentially a bit more power and distance as well. So, straight off the bat, a slightly firmer feeling club as well, much easier to launch, much higher ball flight, and you can see there that's just carried at 154, released out to 160. However, we've got 7,000 spin on that shot, so quite happy with that for an element of control. You don't see those numbers in competitive hollow-bodied irons. And you can really see just how easy this T350 is to launch. That's done really, really well. Pitching at 160 and releasing out to a kind of 162 number. Again, spinning over 6,000. I wouldn't anticipate that from this club. And looking at it, I think this is a club so many golfers will want in their bag this year because it looks fantastic. It looks like a blade, but performs very much like a hollow-bodied, distance-forgiving iron. Looking down at longer blade length for more confidence, inspiration. Now that's like the bottomy one I hit earlier with the 250. It's launched in the air, it's still traveling through 155, and it's gone 163 total. It's maintained 5,600 spin. I definitely think I'm more sporadic with the 350, but I definitely think I'm getting away more with the strikes. I haven't hit, just about to say, I haven't hit a really good one, but that's the best one we've hit so far. Should carry around 170, I think. 166 releasing out to 170 dead. Spins dropped just above 5,000. So definitely get out what you put into these clubs, and I think there's a definite difference in what you might have throughout the set. Would you go T250 lower irons, T350 longer irons? That potentially could be a concoction lots of people have in their bag. That's the best one I've hit throughout. What's it gonna go? Now, what I love about that is I've absolutely ripped that. It's carried 168 and it's spinning at 5006. It's not gone 180, 190 yards, which in the past, if you're in the market for a set of new hollow-bodied irons, you will see those front to back differences. So really, could these be the clubs to knock TaylorMade off their perch? Let's get back outside and find out. Okay, so having seen some quite impressive numbers there for this Titleist T250 and T350 representative, what do we think? Do we think that we should be looking at this gorgeous, sleek looking P790 rival of a T250? Because we know that the 7-iron we have here is 30.5 degrees of loft, which is exactly the same as the P790. I do think it looks a little bit sleeker though. I do feel like that top line is a really nice thickness. And you can see just how easy that is to launch up in the air. That one's gone really, really high, nice fade towards the right-hand side of this green. We're 170 yards out here. I don't feel like I'm trying to bite off more than I can chew with this 7-iron. Obviously, having seen the numbers, having seen how far it can go, I must say, I mean, the T150 is a gorgeous iron. That's the iron that I got fitted into right up to the 4-iron where I went T250. But I do feel like this is a totally different proposition with that nice hollow-bodied but forged element to it. Can we play it down a little bit more? A carbon copy, nice easy launching. We are slightly on an upslope here, but that is a carbon copy of the same shot twice in a row. That's what I want from this club. I want to be able to hit nice consistent shots, nice high towering shots, because although we might lose a little bit of spin rate, which we could say is a loss of control, we do gain that lovely landing angle and peak height. So moving into the T350, obviously we know this is a longer blade length, we know it's got more offset, we know it's a thicker top line, but I think there's so many golfers who would really, really, really enjoy these golf clubs. It almost looks like a P790 to be honest, maybe a little bit thicker. If there was a P800 maybe, this would be the rival to that. And you can see that one's launched even higher and that one's all over the flag as well. What I like about these clubs and what I've really enjoyed about this test so far, that's 3 greens in regulation in a row so far with these clubs, and when we get up there we'll see just how quickly they've stopped because of the landing angle and not because of the spin rate we've got, is I do like how it gives us that element of they look fantastic, because in someone's bag, unless you're a real gear nerd or gearhead, you're not going to know these are actually a really forgiving Titleist iron. You're going to think, oh, they look a bit like Blaze and they're Titleist, and Titleist make players clubs. Titleist make fantastic clubs, and Titleist still make fantastic clubs, and even with that offset, I haven't seen them go quick left, which is a positive for anybody. I'd say those ball flights are almost identical with all 4 shots. I do think the T350s going that a little bit higher is going to be easier to launch, even though it's a slightly stronger club. Let's go up there and see where they finish. But guys, if you've enjoyed this video, please do hit that subscribe button below. We're well on the way to 300,000 subscribers, and I would love you to be a part of it.